Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Island Church Weekly Podcast. Pastor Will, good to see you, man. How you doing today?
Oh, it's good to be with you, Matt, and with our people, and to share a little bit of what's going on. It's a great time. Summer's kind of winding down a little bit. You know, your
We
kiddos
got one cool
probably
day
back
just
in
the other day. It was
school,
nice.
right?
Yep, they're back in school, back in the rhythm of it. We got our first kind of cool morning the other day. I went out for a walk and I was like, oh, I'm not sweating immediately after walking for 20 minutes. This is great. So, yeah, we're in that time of year, man, where things are kind of ramping back up. I know things are busy actually even today around the church. You got to run up. There's a big women's Bible study happening. Tell us a little bit more about kind of how was Sunday at Island Church and what's coming up in the days and weeks ahead.
Well, Sandy's beginning a new study. I think it's being a Mary in a Martha's world. And so I think she's really been looking forward to this. And so I really encourage our women that are watching us today. And you've got neighbors or friends that you want to engage with some other ladies that are similar to them and their life stage and where they are and what they're going through. And they're looking to kind of connect with other ladies and connect with what the Bible has to say. This is a great place. Tuesday morning, they get together for coffee and chat at 9:30, have a few refreshments, and at 10 o'clock, the study begins. Today's kind of just a kickoff. And typically there'll be, in any given study, there'll be 40 women, 45 women on any given week. Maybe there's 30, 35 that will actually be there. But I just encourage you to consider that. So that's kicking off. The men are going to start a little bit later. We're going to start after Labor Day. So we've got another couple of weeks. The men will meet at lunch, and then meet for a little light lunch, and then we have a little study following that. That's at noon on Tuesdays as well. So both those on Tuesdays, ladies at 9:30, and basically the study starts at 10. The men at 12. We do the men down the fellowship hall. The women go upstairs. If you haven't been in our church lately, or if you haven't been to part of the women's group, we actually set the platform not towards the front but towards the side. It's really a good thing. They decorated, do some things, so that's a really good thing. But last week we continued in the basically dealing with the law of love, which is the commandments of God. The 10 commandments are actually just expression of love. And so I did a sermon on selfish love, excuse me, and subtitled The Anatomy of a Thief. That sounds kind of weird, but actually I looked at the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th commandments and put them all in one sermon. I'm going to do the same kind of thing this week. But this coming week, I'm going to look at it from a different angle instead of just talking about what they are and how that damages people and damages our love relationships with people, which is what I did last week. I'm going to be talking about how do we guard our hearts to not sin against others, to not hurt them, not defame them, not to damage those relationships. And so we're going to talk about the guarded heart. How do we guard our hearts? You see, and I looked at David. I wove David in, from the Bible, King David, and we know he was a man after God's heart, and he was seeking after God. And yet he chased after Bathsheba in all manner. He violated almost all of the commands David did by himself in one story with Bathsheba. And then this week we're going to look at the restoration. We know we're going to blow it. So I'm really excited about what we did last week. A lot of affirmation. I'm really excited about what we're going to do this week. And so I just encourage you to come, to invite a friend, invite a neighbor, and be with us. So that's kind of this past week. So it was really good.
What's coming up in the life of the church that folks need to know about?
Well, we talked about the women's studies getting kicked off, the men's studies getting kicked off. We're planning for trunk or treat. If you haven't signed up for that, sign up to help in that. We'd love to have you sign up and either decorate a car, or we'll help you decorate a car, or volunteer in some other type of way. But this is a way for us to connect with our community. As you know, Matt, people are less and less likely just to show up into a church unannounced. That many times people think that the church doesn't have much to offer, sadly, to the community. This is a way for us to touch the community. And actually, it's very fun. If you come and you participate, you're going to have fun. And we've lined up actually a magician that's a Christian magician that's gonna do some stuff for us. Actually, he was on America's Got Talent. Was asked to be on that back when he was probably about 12 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old. He's in his early 20s now, 21, maybe 22. He's actually for our people. We'll say this to you guys. He's a missionary. I'll introduce you to him. He'll be a part of a little bit part of our church. He'll have some touch points with our church, but he actually speaks about 12 languages.
Amazing. So
and he can read in some other languages. And so he's actually from St. Pete, lived around Ukraine, lived when the bombs going off, married a Ukrainian missionary as well. And so they'll get to know him. So we got several fun things for a trunk or treat. So it's going to be a big day.
Big time. Yeah. What a great opportunity it's going to be for the community. So cool. So cool. Well, how can folks be praying for the church this week, Pastor Will?
We're trying to do the last wrap up on our facilities. We're within just any day now. David Brooks has been gone; he's back in town, but he's not the holdup. But we'll be submitting plans to the St. Pete for permitting, and so all of that. And what I want to say to our people is continue to pray for the church, for protection for the church. We understand from Nehemiah, look at Nehemiah and rebuilding the walls. Sometimes the attacks come from without, sometimes they come from within. We just got to be on guard. We want to be a church on mission, advancing God's kingdom. And when you do that, you're going to draw spiritual fire. And so it's just going to happen. And so just continue to pray for protection for that, for our people, pray for truth to reign, for the attacks of the enemies to not impact our church, and just that God would bring us all the resources that we need in terms of people and financial resources to make this thing happen. If the church is really going to have an impact on this island in the type of way that it can to reach the influential people that are around here that touch a lot of things, they touch their businesses, they touch their children, their grandchildren. If that's going to happen, then the church has got to have this kind of third place. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're building a missions outpost so that we can change generations to come. That's really what it's about.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's a great word for us to be praying on and to kind of be considering how we can be part of it. Thanks, Pastor Will, so much. I know you have to run upstairs. You got some introductions to do and some ladies to meet at the Bible study. It's great having you with me today, and we'll see you all back here next week on the Island Church Weekly Podcast.